back to TJ's Model Trains and day 20 of 25 Days of Christmas with TJ 2024. Yesterday we did take a look at the very first steam engine of the series, and that was my Santa Fe 5022, as it would have been running on the Pennsylvania Sandusky branch in the mid-1950s. I do think it's a pretty cool engine. Weathering wise, not my best work, I think. I kind of maybe went too heavy, maybe didn't go heavy enough, I don't know. But as I mentioned, steam engines are a lot harder to do than modern diesels. There's just kind of not enough to go by, so you just kind of have to wing it. So in that case, I'm going to say it looks good. So continuing on with steam engines, we're going to look at one today that had an interesting life of how it came about, and one that it shouldn't have probably had, but it's still here and still kicking, and we'll go ahead and dive in on that today for day 20, and we'll see y'all tomorrow for day 21. So as I said, for today's steam engine, this is one that was bought, had a purpose, wasn't actually executed for that purpose, and is still here today. So let's go ahead and fire this up and get it out of the tunnel. So this is my MTH RailKing Pennsylvania Railroad 080. This engine was actually purchased by my dad as a donor for another steam engine to rob the boards and things from. And upon getting it, he started running it and realized it was actually not a bad model for RailKing. It's got really nice details. It is later RailKing, so it has the darker side rods and blacked out wheels and black center pins. So it doesn't look as cheap or cheesy. And it's got a lot of side rod action, smokes really well, sounds good. And believe it or not, this was the first steam engine that I actually had gotten that was running back when I had just the 4x8 layout. And it's been here since the beginning for me. And I've probably put, I think now on it, I think it's a little over 1,000 or 1,500 miles on it. It's just a good little runner, looks good, you just can't complain on it. Now the funny part of this is that so many people make the jokes because I do so much weathering and custom work that trains come to me to get ruined. Well, here's a story about a train coming to me for resurrection and staying alive and running great for many years. So another point that I really do enjoy about the steam engine is even with MTH, on their RailKing stuff, they still try to be as accurate and close to the model as possible. And believe it or not, Pennsylvania Railroad did have an 080. And it was 6556, and it's a C1. And for those that might know that, the CC1 that Lionel did is technically two of these. So it is kind of cool to have it, and you know, it is a real engine, and it's something that Pennsylvania did have. There's some detail things that I'd like to do to it, like I'd like to put a keystone on the front of the boiler, and maybe put Katie's on it or something. But being that it's a little yard goat, having the electro coupler on the front's kind of fun. But I think Katie's and filling in the front pilot would look pretty sweet. But again, sometimes these little smaller RailKing engines are just awesome, and they pack a lot of punch inside of a little engine, and for a very decent price. So if you're new into the hobby and you're looking at steam engines and you're seeing these premier steam engines and going, oh my goodness, I don't want to pay $1,000, $1,200, $1,400, or Lionel, you don't want to pay $2,000, $2,500 for a steam engine. There is these older RailKing engines out there. They are scale proportions. They run great. They can run on tight radius. And they just look good, and they're not cheesy plastic or anything like that. They're a die-cast boiler and a die-cast body. So that is an option for you to look at going forward if you're newer into the hobby or if you're tight on space. But let's go ahead and fire this thing up and get it running around the layout. We'll see y'all tomorrow.